So I've been keeping track of my practice of the relaxation response, or the deep, even breathing. I've found that you need to focus on very deep, very even, very purposeful breathing. It's kind of interesting. I'm getting back into what I used to do when I practiced ritual magic more frequently. This type of breath is actually the groundwork of most ritual magic systems, which pretty much everybody forgets because they want to play dress up and they want to invoke this or that and blah 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 blah. It all boils down to yoga, as what's his face, Aleister Crowley stated. Magic is a pyramid and its foundation is yoga, and pranayama, which is what the breathing methods are. Pranayama is the foundation of all of the physical aspects of yoga. Of course, yoga has other metaphysical aspects to it, but the first one that I would like to point out, this is prior to my making this video a couple minutes ago at 4:10 p.m. on the 10th of July. My blood pressure was 135/87. After 15 minutes of this practice, it dropped to 115/81 and 71 beats a minute. Now, this might not seem like that big of a deal, and it's not, because you have to take into consideration controlling blood pressure, just like yoga. There's a whole aspect to it. For one, diet. I practice ahimsa, basically a sattvic diet, more or less, which is a vegan diet, of course. So 7:3:19, 133/83 dropped to, after 15 minutes, to 111/79, 77 beats a minute. 7:3:19, 129/87, 83 beats per minute, dropped to 111/79, 77 beats per minute. 7:4:19, 119/81, 77 beats a minute, dropped to 113/79, 66 beats per minute. Skip ahead a little bit here. Now, my blood pressure is relatively stable. That's the thing, is I don't have terribly high blood pressures, except when I do, and then they become like 155/110. And apparently nobody can figure that out, which is why I have to take this approach. I have to practice what would be called a natural hygiene approach, because obviously mainstream medicine isn't working. I do still take the beta blocker, but that doesn't stop the spikes in the blood pressure from out of nowhere. Now, I do believe it is partially an anger issue, although it's not always necessarily correlated to anger. So the reason that this is so important is many of us forget that especially in the modern sense, especially those of us that perform we like to be more aggressive with how we approach exercise and how we approach these things. We forget about things like breath control and or pranayama, as it's called in yoga. It leaves us. We prefer to lift weights and do things like this, and this goes under my damaging exercises versus restorative exercises, and it's the truth. Most mainstream forms of exercise are very damaging to the body, such as running, jogging, even to an extent swimming. These things, and especially things like powerlifting, things like that, they can be very damaging to the body, especially if one does not allow the body time to recuperate. Things like this, the relaxation response, help to rejuvenate the body by causing a proper hormonal and neurotransmitter environment for rejuvenation. In fact, I wasn't actually, I'm going to leave a link to the book, I wasn't actually enlightened to the relaxation method by, say, the book, The Relaxation Method. I was enlightened to it by a book called The Mind Magic Kit by Dr. Jonathan Mumford, back when I was, I'd say 13 years old. And it came with a little thermometer, because as you calm down, your hands get warmer. And as your hands get warmer, what that is that shows that the capillaries are opening due to a deep sense of relaxation, and it's causing the mercury to rise in a little tiny thermometer. So I'm no stranger to meditation. What happened is I got away from it over the years, primarily due to stress-inducing things like being homeless for 4 years, or just other lifestyle changes that caused me to get away from these health habits. And basically I'm back into these health habits. I just wanted to make this video to show the relaxation method does indeed work. I am not a doctor. This is not health advice. Talk to a licensed healthcare professional if you're going to practice anything like this. And that's all for this video.